Okay, I have a nice effect to show you today that can be used as a standalone routine, or perhaps more importantly, it can be used as a backup routine when something goes awry with one of your performances. Okay, so it can be used to pull out of a nosedive and save face if your previous routine falls apart. Okay. And the reason this is the good one is you're guaranteed to succeed with this if you just follow the 2 or 3 steps that I'll show you. Now, as the performer, I'll go ahead and just inform you that to carry this out, you need to either know the identity of the bottom card of the shuffled deck or the identity of the top card. Okay, so if you know either one of those, there's a way to carry out this routine and really surprise the spectator with what you're able to do here. Okay, so let's say, well, I guess one thing I should mention, let's go ahead and do it as if, we're going to note the identity of the top card, okay? So we can pretend the cards are, cards are thoroughly mixed. You can do all of this with the spectator's help if you want, okay? And so we'll go ahead into the version where we'll peek the identity of the top card. Okay, so I'll just show you a way of doing that. There's many ways of doing that. Okay, so we've mixed the cards, hopefully to the satisfaction of the spectator, and then you can even, under the guise of showing them how well mixed the cards are, you could spread them out and just kind of have them see how well mixed the colors and numbered cards and face cards and suits and so forth, even though we do have a big block of red somehow over here. Okay, but what I'm looking for is the performer. I just note this card over here. It's almost off the camera view, sorry. 2 of spades. That's the only thing I need to remember. And if you're showing the spectator the cards and kind of keeping their attention away from just that one particular card, you should be safe. It's not likely they're going to remember that that was the top card. Okay. Whereas this method for noting the identity of the bottom card is not the best because this one's so visible. It's likely they'll remember that. Okay, so there's other ways to glimpse the bottom card, okay? But we'll go ahead and do this whole routine knowing the identity of the top card, the 2 of spades there. Okay, so what you need from the spectator is just a random number between, let's say, 15 and 20. And that's the way to phrase it. Make it out as if it doesn't really matter exactly how many cards you work with, when in fact it will. To be 100% safe, we do need somewhere between 15 and 20 cards, okay? And then you can always sell that and say, well, any more than that, everything just takes too long. Okay, it'll just be too laborious for you to watch, or whatever excuse you want to give. And so they randomly choose a number between 15 and 20. Maybe they'll say 17. Okay, and then you say, okay, very good. We'll work with 17 cards, and then you just count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, well, think about it. What started on the top of the deck, because we just dealt out 17 cards, will now be on the bottom. Okay, and this is important. This whole routine, using a quantity of cards somewhere between 15 and 20, depends on the bottom card being the one that you're going to reveal in the end. So we really do need it on the bottom. So, of course, don't flash that or something. Okay, now at this point, there's a number of ways to frame things. You could frame it as a test to see if there is a sympathetic connection between you as the performer and the spectator, okay? And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to ask them for their favorite card in the whole deck, and then we're going to sandwich that card between my favorite card as the performer, or we could do the opposite of that. You'll see how that works in just a second. So first off, I need to know, in fact, I'll tell you first, which I think is the fairest thing to do. I'll tell you up front what card is my favorite card. Now, of course, this is a bit of a fib, right? But I'm going to state that the 2 of spades is my favorite card, okay? And now you ask them for their favorite card. And they really are free to choose any one of the 52 cards. This is going to work just great. So maybe they'll say the 8 of diamonds, which is kind of an unusual favorite card to have. Okay, so their favorite card is the 8 of diamonds. Mine is the 2 of spades. So you now give them the very important choice. Should we sandwich their favorite card between mine or sandwich my favorite card between their favorite card? Okay, so let's say they want my favorite card sandwiched between theirs. Okay, so what that would mean then is, just as in a sandwich, their favorite card will be like the bun. It'll be the top and the bottom, and then mine will be in the middle. It'll be like the filling of the sandwich or hamburger or whatever it happens to be, right? Sandwiching. Okay, so we would spell out 8 of diamonds, which is their stated favorite card. So EIGHTOF DIAMONDS, okay? And now we're going to spell out my favorite card, 2 of spades, TWOOFSPADES. And so to finish the sandwiching of my card, we're going to spell out 8 of diamonds a second time. So EIGHTOF DIAMONDS. Okay, so we truly sandwiched my favorite card between theirs. So to discover whether or not there is a sympathetic connection between the two of us, the cards should make that clear as to whether or not that's true. So let's just take a look at what all of these choices have led to. They have led to the location of my favorite card. Wow, I really felt like there was, and apparently there is, a sympathetic connection between us. Okay, so that is the routine. Okay, so let's just quickly kind of talk through this. Okay, so you start with a shuffled deck of cards, right, and mix thoroughly. Okay. And so this uses off-centered coding. So that is the name of the principle. And of course, I'll have a link in the description below to that, which will take you to a short series that talks about this most remarkable principle. So it's called off-centered coding. Okay, so as I mentioned, you need to know either the identity of the bottom card or the top. Okay. Now, if you want to go with the bottom card as your favorite card, what you would do there is you would just thumb through the deck and leave about a third of the cards. Okay. So 2/3 are being discarded. You leave about a third. There's a high probability, in fact with practice you can nail it every time, there's a high probability that there's somewhere between 15 and 20 cards here, because that's how many you need. I can just kind of show that to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Wow, it's the same number that they supposedly randomly chose, okay? So you would do it this way if you happen to know the identity of the bottom card of the deck after it's been, quote, shuffled and mixed. Okay, so we'll proceed in using this little packet here. Okay, so and then from here, what's going to make all of this work is that quantity 15 to 20 cards relative to the number of letters that are in the different 52 card names. If we do this off-centered coding, as we'll step through a second time, it is guaranteed to bring this current bottom card of this little packet to the top. Now, if you think about that, that is most remarkable, because it doesn't matter actually what my, quote, favorite card is, nor does it matter what the spectator's favorite card is. This bottom card, whatever it is, will rise to the top after this. It's just remarkable, absolutely amazing. Okay, So, so right now, this is my supposed favorite card, 6 of clubs. Really is the only thing you need to remember as the performer. And then they can state any card name. So maybe they'll give a popular one like Queen of Hearts. That's a really popular favorite card. Okay. And then you give them a very important additional choice. You say, okay, we can sandwich their favorite card, the Queen of Hearts, between mine, which is the 6 of spades, or vice versa. You can do either card could be, quote, the bun that's doing the sandwiching, and the other card's the middle, or vice versa. This all works regardless of the choice made there. Okay, so maybe this time they'll say they want my favorite card as the performer to sandwich theirs. And so what that would mean then is I would spell out 6 of clubs, first. So SIXOFCLUBS. And now I would spell out their favorite card, which was the Queen of Hearts, supposedly, right? QUEENOFHEARTS. And then to finish the sandwiching, I spell out 6 of clubs one more time. So SIXOFCLUBS. And it is guaranteed to bring the 6 of clubs, which is my favorite card, to the top. There it is. Okay. Now, aesthetically, I guess in some ways, perhaps it's better to have your favorite card as the performer be sandwiched between theirs, because it kind of feels like their favorite card then is like finding and revealing yours or something. But you can switch the order of those and you'll finish just fine, as you've seen right here. So this is another wonderful routine using off-centered coding, and I have several on my channel. And I love this effect because it can be done anywhere at any time, of course, with a deck of cards, or really all you need is between 15 and 20, and it works just great. But I use it as a backup. So if something goes wrong with a performance, I just kind of make it out as if I'm smoothly still working on the performance that just went bad, and that this is the final stage or something, and you're going to succeed with this. So if you just remember a few basics, and they just can't believe it because they think, okay, wow, I could have given, and as the spectator, they could have given any of the 52 card names, and this is what they're going to reason. They're going to think, wow, if I had just chosen a different card name that had like 1 or 2 more letters or fewer letters, this wouldn't have worked. Clearly, it wouldn't have worked. Why did I happen to choose? They might even kick themselves for like falling for the trap that we set for them so that we could pull this off. Well, it ends up it doesn't matter what card they choose. And that really is hard for most people to believe that that wouldn't make a difference. Well, because of off-centered coding, it doesn't. Okay, so that's worth looking into. So if you want to look at that series and some of the other little videos I've done that use this principle, it really is one worth mastering, and it's not too difficult to remember. So anyway, so thank you for watching, and take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.